Good morning. Can we have a zero? All right, I need everyone at a zero, please. Nice job. All right, at this time, we're going to get started. So we're going to ask everyone to please stand up as we welcome our veterans. We're going to need everybody at a zero still. Show me your zeros. Thank you. Let's keep that zero.
If tomorrow all the things were gone, I'd work for all my life, and I had to start again with just my children and my wife. I thank my lucky stars to be living here today, 'cause the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston and New York to LA. Well, there's pride.
At this time, we're going to ask everyone to remain standing as Sean Smith steps forward. You may be familiar with Sean with his appearance in The Voice. He's also a parent here, and we're honored to have him as a veteran and performing our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. Oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof to the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave.
At this time, we're going to ask everyone to sit down, please. And I need everyone back at a zero, please. Good morning, Columbus. I'm honored and privileged to be here this morning to celebrate and honor our veterans from our building. I'd like to take this time to welcome the veterans that are here today, along with our students, their families, and everyone for making this event possible. I'd like to thank Mrs. McEwen, who has helped me in getting this event organized and put together. I'd also like to thank Mrs. Gerling, our principal, who is unable to be here today, for her support and guidance with everything with Assembly. In addition, we'd like to thank our acting superintendent, who is here today, Dr. Davis. Mr. Felci, Mrs. Felci, Mr. Ferraro, Mrs. Only Naimi from the Assemblywoman's office, and to the Board of Education for all of their support. A special thank you to Mrs. Larish, our music teacher, we'd also like to thank our student council advisors and the Columbus PTO. Finally, a big thank you to the Columbus teachers and staff, our custodians, and most importantly, our student council members, who have played such an important role in this assembly today. I speak for everyone when I say we are proud of all of our students for their work and dedication to making this event a success. At this time, I'm going to pass the mic over to Mrs. McEwen.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, veterans, family, friends, for being here today. We appreciate your service, and we thank you from our Columbus family to all of you. I just want to give everyone a little history on Veterans Day. Veterans Day originated as Armistice Day on November 11th, 1919, the first anniversary of the end of World War I. In 1926, Congress passed a resolution for an annual observance, and November 11th became a national holiday beginning in 1938. Veterans Day is a time to pay tribute to all the American veterans, ones that are still with us and ones that are no longer. It is a day that gives thanks to living veterans who served their country honorably during war or peacetime. We are here today to honor our service members and veterans, to remember and acknowledge the sacrifices they have made and the courage it takes to defend our great nation. We are here to honor our heroes and to remember their achievements and great dedication to our country. Our Columbus family would like to say thank you for all you have done and continue to do for our country.
At this time, we'd like Mrs. Naimi Only from the New York State Assembly office, Chief of Staff, to come forward for a few words.
Good morning. I need to teach our office how to do that. So as this was said, I am Chief of Staff for Assemblywoman Mary Ann Buttonshaw. Does anybody know what a Chief of Staff is? Me either. She's very sorry she couldn't be here today. She's very dedicated to veterans in our area. Her dad's a veteran. Her dad was also a teacher, a history teacher. You guys like history? Well, he was my teacher, and he was my favorite teacher. In the office of Assemblywoman Buttonshaw, veterans are one of our top priorities. It's only right that after they vowed to protect our country that we help protect them. In particular, we are strong advocates for veterans' mental health. This population typically requires a more tailored subset of services, and all too often we see them slip through the cracks. By advocating for more enhanced and elaborate mental health programs for veterans, we hope to help them deal with the issues that arise from their service to our country. It's so very, very important. Apart from mental health, the office also advocates for enhancement of general health care for veterans. We want to ensure that veterans are aware of all the services they are entitled to, and that they are able to receive specialized treatment for any underlying conditions that may result from their time serving the country. Some legislation includes a list of toxins that members of the military may have come into contact with, in hopes of reducing misdiagnosis and requiring that veterans receive help determining their eligibility for health care through the Department of Veterans Affairs. Locally, Assemblywoman Buttonshaw is constantly working to provide resources for our veterans organizations. This year alone, the Assemblywoman has provided $300,000 to local veterans assistance organizations to ensure that this group is well taken care of. Oneida County has over 14,000 veterans living within its parameters. It is only right that we support this population and their needs. Assemblywoman Buttonshaw will continue to advocate for the veterans population, and we look forward to seeing the different ways that we can support this population in the upcoming Assembly session, which starts in January. I also have a stepson that was recently deployed to Africa for 8 months. So we all in the office are very, very aware of what we owe to our veterans in this country. So from the bottom of all our hearts, thank you.
Before we begin honoring our veterans, we have a few students with a poem.
Can you lower it? Thank you.
All Veterans Day, we honor all who answer to a service call, soldiers young and soldiers old, fought for freedom, brave and bold. Some have lived while others died, and all of them deserve our pride. We are proud of all the soldiers who kept thinking of red, white, and blue. They fought for us and all our rights. They fought through many days and nights, and though we may not know each name, we thank all veterans just the same.
Veterans are brave men and women who are still alive today. We thank them for their service and the price they choose to pay.
Each day we live in freedom and memory we must not fade. The reason for this freedom comes from sacrifices made. So we celebrate our veterans on the 11th of November. We thank them for their courage and pledge always to remember.
So at this time, we're going to go ahead and honor our veterans that are here and those that were unable to attend. When we call your name, you can go ahead and stand up. We will present you with a certificate and a carnation.
John was drafted September 1966. He completed basic training and was part of the Army Armored Cavalry Unit stationed in Fort Hood, Texas. He was deployed to Vietnam in August 1967 and fought in the January 1968 Tet Offensive. He is a Purple Heart and Bronze Star Medal recipient.
Thank you, John H. Collins, Jr.
Michael P. Diagonet, father of Mrs. Collins. He was in the Army. In 1971, after graduating from St. John's Fisher College, Michael Diganan enlisted in the Army for 3 years and went to basic training at Fort Dix, New Jersey. He then attended the Defense Language Institute in Monterey, California, and studied Spanish. Mike served in the Army as a personnel specialist and interpreter translator for Spanish at the Armed Forces Entrance and Examination Station in Newark, New Jersey, finishing in 1974 as a Specialist 5 Sergeant. Following his service, Mike used the GI Bill to continue his education in accounting and business at the MVCC and SUNY Tech. Mike also worked as a federal civilian employee for the Department of Defense in Rome.
The Honorable Stephen D. Gerling was born in 1942 and grew up on Elm Street in Utica. He is the father of Mrs. Gerling. Unfortunately, he and Miss Gerling are not able to attend today. He attended Niagara University as a history major from the fall of 1960 to 1964. While there, he enrolled in the ROTC program and upon graduation was honored as a distinguished military graduate. Judge Gerling, he later became known as Judge Gerling, and he was appointed to the U.S. Bankruptcy Court bench in the Northern District of New York in 1985. He became Chief Judge in 1994 and served on the Board of Governors of the National Conference of Bankruptcy Judges for 3 years. He spent another 5 years as an adjunct professor at Syracuse University of Law. He is retired. He retired in February 2009 and now spends most of the time with his family and friends.
Nurse Stacy is our school nurse. She served 8 years in the U.S. Air Force and was active duty in law enforcement. She was stationed in California, Okinawa, and North Dakota. She completed her commitment at the rank of Staff Sergeant.
Nurse Stacy is actually in the building today. However, she's tending to students, so she thanks everybody for being here and supporting her, as well as the other veterans.
Cherise Nelson is the mother of Isabella Hines in Mr. Pagliero's kindergarten class, Lauren Hines in Mrs. Menino's first grade class, and Sammy Hines in Mrs. Tessa's third grade class. Cherise served 6 years in the Army.
John Stanford, father of Christopher and Cameron Stanford. He served in the U.S. Marine Corps. Mr. Stanford was in the United States Marine Corps from 2007 to 2011. He was a machine gunner with the 1st Battalion, 4th Marines. He was deployed to Iraq from 2008 to 2009.
Duhamel Morales Mercado was not able to attend, but he's still grateful. Mercado has been with the New York National Guard for 4 years and just resigned for 6 more years. Duhamel is stationed in Utica and part of the 2nd Battalion 108 Infantry Unit. Duhamel is a father of Emmy Enriquez Vichoso.
Mrs. Suba, is that student here today? Can she come? Can they come forward to get the certificate and the carnation?
Jesse J. Patton is the grandfather of Honestly Love Wacken in Miss Capero class. Jesse is a disabled vet that served during the Vietnam War. Jesse served in the Army.
Is Honesty here?
Miguel Pina is the father of Yarabel Colon. He served in the United States Marine Corps from 2017 to 2021. He was at Camp Lejeune in North Carolina and Camp Pendleton.
Duncan Watson is the father of Phyllis Clamper in Miss Whiter's class and Rosie Preman in Miss Ronaldo's kindergarten class. He served as a radio operator for the United States Marine Corps from 2015 to 2022 and was stationed primarily in Japan.
Chris Boykin is the grandfather of Skyland and Chase Liggett and Silas Boucher. He served in the United States Army in Amberg, Germany from 1977 to 1980 and was then in the Army Reserve from 1984 to 2006.
Jennifer Martin is the mother of Alexandria Martin. Jennifer served in the Army.
Dave Bartlett is the papa of Alexandria Martin Charles, served in the Army.
Kathleen Shortino is the cousin of Miss Williams. Kathleen served in the United States Army and the Army Reserves. She was a sergeant major and retired in 2023. She was stationed for half a year at Camp Humphreys, South Korea, Fort Campbell, Kentucky, Fort Bragg, North Carolina, Germany, and the Netherlands. She had 2 deployments aboard Iraq.
Sean Smith is an Army veteran. He served about 9 years and was deployed for Operation Iraqi Freedom from 2007 to 2008, where he served as a combat engineer and was awarded several medals. He's a local musician here, widely known in this region after his appearance on The Voice. Mr. Smith is the father of Mateo Rosa in 3rd grade.
Officer Ruben Checo is a homegrown Utica officer who attended Hughes, Donovan, and Proctor. He enlisted in the Marine Corps and then the Utica Police Department. He is assigned to the Patrol Division and patrols the streets of Utica.
Honoring Louis Montero, the uncle of Mrs. McEwen. Mr. Montero was in the United States Navy from 1951 to 1955. Mr. Montero also served on the aircraft carrier USS Randolph out to sea for years at a time. Nicoletta Timmons is the mother of Marilla Tillman and Amina Stockbridge. She was in the Army for 5 years and retired medically as a specialist, and served as a combat medic. With a tour in Afghanistan, she also contributed aid during the Ebola virus to Africa for civilians with the 82nd Airborne Division.
Is Morella Tillman or Amina Stockbridge here?
Master Sergeant Howard Keynes graduated in June 1968, departed for the Marine Corps training 3 days later. After recruit training, departed for School of Infancy at Marine Corps Base Camp, Eugene, North Carolina. After infancy training, came home on leave and married his wife. After leave, he reported to Naval Air Station Millington, Tennessee for basic jet mechanic training, after which he was assigned to Marine Fighter Attack Squadron 101, Marine Corps base south of Los Angeles. He stayed there until he was re-listed and was sent with the squadron to Marine Corps base Yuma, Arizona. While at Yuma, he oversaw Flight Line and Squadron 31 ground support. After serving some time in Yuma, he was assigned to Marine Fighter Attack Squadron 312 at Cherry Point, North Carolina. Shortly after arriving, he was selected to attend Jet Advanced Training School back in Tennessee. Shortly after that, he received orders for Marine Corps Air Station Iwakuni, Japan, where he supervised all of flight line training and launch and recovery and pre-flight inspection of all aircraft. At this time, he returned home on emergency medical leave as family members needed assistance. At that point, he was discharged from active duty and joined the Marine 8th Tank Battalion in Syracuse, New York as a tank section leader. After a year, he returned to active duty at Marine Corps Recruiting Station, Albany, New York, and was assigned as recruiter instructor for 12 countries and assigned to the Utica office. His last command, he was sent to Recruiting Command, Norriton, New Jersey, as recruiter instructor, overseeing 58 recruiters. He placed his retirement request for March 1991. While awaiting, he interviewed for Naval Science instructor at Notre Dame High School. After Navy and Marine Corps certification, was hired and spent 20 great years at Notre Dame. He is married for 55 years, has 3 children, 7 grandchildren, and 2 great-grandchildren.
Lance Corporal Gregory A. Lersch is the husband of Mrs. Lersch. He is a part of the 4th Marine Division, 2nd Battalion, 25th Marines Fox Company, and served in Operation Iraq Freedom.
Specialist Joseph Parada, Mrs. Parada's son, enlisted in the New York Army National Guard on August 15, 2019. Before his senior year of high school, he completed one weekend a month of service until graduating and leaving for boot camp in Fort Benning, Georgia. After boot camp and in infantry training. He returned to New York before being selected to attend Army Airborne School, where he became a paratrooper with the 1st Battalion, 507th Parachute Infantry Regiment. On June 13, 2022, the C Company, 2nd Battalion, 108th Infantry Unit began training stateside in Texas and New Mexico for 3 months before deploying to the Horn of Africa for 9 months to conduct security operations. Currently, Specialist Parada is in the Utica Fire Academy and will become a Utica fireman.
Mrs. Parada, can you step forward to accept it on his behalf? Okay.
Lance Corporal Nicholas Parada, Mrs. Parada's nephew, enlisted in the Marine Corps on November 1st, 2020, and attended at Marine Corps Recruit Depot, Parris Island, South Carolina. Following boot camp and infantry training, he was stationed at Camp Lejeune in North Carolina with the 2nd Battalion, 6th Marine Infantry Regiment. From February 2022 until October 2022, he was deployed aboard the USS Arlington, a naval transport ship. During his deployment, he visited many countries including Iceland, Greece, Croatia, Tunisia, Sweden, Turkey, and Lithuania. The purpose of the deployment was to strengthen relationships with both NATO allies and partners. Lance Corporal Parada is currently stationed in Japan.
And Mrs. Parada will be accepting on both her son and her nephew's behalf.
Connor Pastor is the brother of Mrs. Mills here at Columbus. Connor served as mobile facilities technician providing support equipment for the repair of airplane parts. He served in Okinawa, Japan from 2017 to 2019 and then went to North Carolina from 2019 to 2022.
Mrs. Mills, can you come up and accept? Thank you.
Herbert Lamarck is Mrs. Lamarck's father-in-law. He was second-class petty officer in the Navy and served in the Korean War.
Mrs. Lamarck, can you come up and accept?
Honoring Tom Murata, the uncle of Mrs. McEwen. Mr. Murata was in the United States Army for 4 years, in the Marines for 4 years.
Utica Police Patrol Officer Felix Santana, Service Sergeant E5 in the United States Marine Corps, 2005 to 2014, and Army National Guard, 2014 to 2022. Deployments while in the Marine Corps, 2006 to 2007. He was deployed to Operation Enduring Freedom and Operation Iraqi Freedom. Specialty occupation, infantry. Utica Police Officer James Fitzgerald, Service Chief Petty Officer E7 in the United States Navy, 14 years of service. Deployments: Afghanistan, 2012, Bahrain, 2018. Specialty occupation, Master at Arms, Naval Police. Utica Police Juvenile Aid Investigator Maynard Ankin, Service Specialist 4th Class in the United States Army Reserve, 8 years of service. Deployments: Operation Enduring Freedom 2003 and Operation Iraqi Freedom 2007. Specialty occupation, Civil Affairs Specialist. During the course of both deployments, our job was to serve as a liaison between U.S. military and people of Iraq. During the first deployment, we used U.S. funds to rehabilitate several schools and health clinics in the U.S. In and around Baghdad.
Mrs. Banzner, can you come up to accept Captain James Holtz?
Where do I start, right?
Sean Nuri is the father of Quinn Nuri. Sean served in the United States Marine Corps from 1998 through 2006. He served in Iraq in 2003 through 2004 as a part of the 3rd Battalion Field Artillery and the Camp Abu Ghraib.
Richard Bernhardt served from 1963 to 1966 in U.S. Army. He is the father of Mrs. Elder.
Mrs. Elder, will you come forward? Can we give another round of applause? At this time, we're going to have our guest speaker, Master Sergeant Howard Keys.
Can you hear me? Yeah? You can be louder than that, can't you? Can you hear me? All right. One more time. Can you hear me? All right. Good. That motivates me. First, I want to thank Mrs. Banzer and for the opportunity to come and speak with you for a few minutes and try to keep you awake. This is like the ninth period. You know, you're starting to get tired. Probably sitting there listening. Look at that smile on his face. It's amazing. Anyway, I want to do a little something different today. Do you know why we're here today, right? Let me ask this young man right here. Why are we here? Because what?
Y'all served in the military?
Absolutely. They're veterans. Everybody up there is a veteran. That means they serve their country. And what they do, when you're young, sometimes you don't know, you sign to enlist in a branch of the military. But you have to realize there's going to be times that you're going to be deployed in probably difficult positions for more. I want to today do something a little different. I want to be the student, and I want you folks to be the teacher. So I'm going to ask, all of you are teachers now, okay? So I'm going to ask you a question, and you give me the answer. Who wants to be a teacher? Come. Okay. What day is Veterans Day?
The 11th.
Outstanding. The 11th. He got it. Hey, that's good. What's the next question? Come on up here, young man. What do you do when you see or meet a veteran?
Wait, say it again?
What do you do when you meet or see a veteran?
I say thank you for your service.
There you go. Outstanding. Thank you for your service. Well, this is going to be easier than I thought. Let me see. Okay, what is the difficult thing, in your opinion, for the family of a veteran?
What was that question again?
What is the most difficult thing for a family of the veteran?
I forgot. The veterans are good people. They help us help us get freedom. What do you mean?
That's an outstanding answer. Veterans help us with the freedom of, okay. All right. Let me see here. Oh, that young lady, yeah. Okay, in your opinion, oh, you got a Marine Corps cover on. I spotted that one. In your opinion, do veterans make sacrifices for their family and their country?
Yes,
Why?
to keep us safe.
Keep us safe. You got it. Outstanding. Okay. What I'd like you to do now is, when you see a veteran, Veterans Day should be every day. It just happens to be November 11th, and you have a Veterans Day assembly right here. But you see veterans every day, and sometimes the only thing that can make a veteran really happy, you see these gentlemen and ladies out front, some of them are wearing their covers or their hats. So you could be with your family in a grocery store, shopping or whatever. You see a veteran with his hat on, all you have to do is say thank you. It means a lot. Especially means a lot coming from younger people, because our world is a little different today than it used to be. So in closing here a little bit, how many of you right now have a family member sitting over here? Could you come see me for a minute? If you got a family member sitting here, stand up and come over here. All right. Come on there, young man. Step over. I'm waiting on a couple more. I love this. You motivated today?
What? Yes.
Okay, here's what I want you to do. I'd like each one of you, you can all do it at once, don't run, just all walk up together, stand in front of your veteran, whether it be your father, your grandfather, or anything like that. Hold on. Whoa, 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 whoa. Either you're trying to get rid of me. All right. I want you to go up to them, stand in front of them, and look at them and say, thank you for everything. Outstanding. Outstanding. That's the way it should be. Thank you. All right, to close it again, I want to thank Mrs. Banzer, the administration, the superintendent is here today. I've enjoyed meeting you. A little different from me. This is the youngest crowd I've ever talked to, so it's a little bit different. Again, thank you for everything.
Thank you again. At this time, I'm going to turn over the mic to Mrs. Larish with our choir. They've been working really hard. So as they get themselves set up, let's stay at a zero.
First row, step back. Ma'am, step back. You're ready in 3. You're ready in 2. You're ready in 1. Christopher, step down. Step down. There's too many of you. Close the gaps. Close the gaps. All right. Sorry, we had to get them situated. First of all, I want to thank all of our veterans for being here today. Let's give them another great big round of applause. Thank you so much for your service. Second of all, I would like to introduce you to the Columbus
choir. It is composed of 4th graders, 5th graders, as well as 6th graders. We have over 85 students up here. Our first song contains a duet, and at this time I would like to instruct Ilhana and Isabella to come on down. They are our soloists this evening, or this morning. Really close to it. Isabella, get close. Yeah.
Got it now. Can we give one more round of applause? We'd like to thank everyone for being here today. Again, thank you, veterans. Thank you, thank you everyone from downtown who came down to be with us today. Following the ceremony, those of you who are here, we have a small reception in the library, so we invite you to join us there. Students who have family here are invited to come down as well. So once we dismiss the assembly, we will head down to the library, and then you can send those students that have family here to join us. Again, thank you so much for attending. Thank you, veterans. Happy Veterans Day, and have a good rest of your day, Columbus.